The question of whether women and men differ in intelligence is a contentious one. For centuries, pseudoscience was used to relegate women to the domestic sphere, deemed intellectually inferior to men. Today, we strive for a more nuanced understanding, acknowledging the dangers of both biological essentialism and the outright dismissal of any differences. Understanding the cognitive differences between genders, if they exist, is not about declaring one superior. It's about moving beyond simplistic binaries and appreciating the diverse ways our brains operate. This exploration is crucial for several reasons. First, it allows us to challenge harmful stereotypes that limit opportunities for both men and women. Second, it helps us develop educational approaches tailored to individual strengths. The goal is not to fuel the flames of a tired debate, but to illuminate the fascinating complexities of the human brain and promote a future where everyone can thrive. One avenue of exploration in the gender and intelligence debate lies in examining potential structural and functional differences between male and female brains. While both sexes share the same basic brain anatomy, subtle variations have been observed in specific regions and their interconnectivity. For instance, studies using neuroimaging techniques like MRI have revealed differences in gray matter volume. Females tend to have higher gray matter concentration in areas like the planum temporale, linked to language processing, and the insula, involved in emotional awareness. Conversely, males often exhibit larger volumes in the amygdala, associated with emotional responses, and the hippocampus, crucial for spatial memory. Beyond gray matter, variations in white matter tracts, the brain's communication pathways, have also been documented. Some research suggests that males tend to have stronger connections within hemispheres, potentially facilitating faster information processing within specific brain regions. In contrast, females often display stronger connections between hemispheres, possibly contributing to a more integrated and holistic cognitive style. The age-old debate of nature versus nurture takes center stage in discussions about gender and intelligence. While differences in brain structure and function might suggest a biological basis for cognitive variations, attributing these solely to genetics oversimplifies a complex interplay. Proponents of the gender similarities hypothesis, championed by psychologist Janet Hyde, argue that observed cognitive differences between genders are minimal and largely attributable to social and cultural factors. Hyde's extensive meta-analyses reveal that most psychological gender differences are either small or non-existent. This perspective emphasizes the profound impact of socialization on cognitive development. From an early age, children are bombarded with gender stereotypes that shape their interests, self-perceptions, and ultimately their cognitive performance. Girls are often encouraged towards nurturing and verbal activities, while boys are steered towards competition and spatial reasoning tasks. These early experiences create feedback loops, reinforcing societal expectations and influencing the development of specific cognitive skills. Ultimately, the nature versus nurture debate is not an either-or proposition. Evolutionary psychology offers a compelling, albeit controversial, perspective on potential cognitive differences between genders. Proponents of this view argue that our brains, shaped by the relentless forces of natural selection, bear the imprint of our ancestors' survival strategies. One prominent example is the proposed link between spatial abilities and male mating strategies. Evolutionary psychologists suggest that men's superior performance on some spatial tasks might stem from the demands of ancestral hunting practices. Similarly, some hypothesize that women's purported advantage in object location memory could be linked to gathering practices. However, it's essential to approach these evolutionary explanations with a healthy dose of skepticism. Critics argue that they often rely on speculative assumptions about our ancestors' lives, for which we have limited empirical evidence. Section 5. A spectrum of abilities where genders excel. While the debate on overall intelligence between genders remains largely inconclusive, research highlights specific cognitive abilities where each gender demonstrates relative strengths. In the realm of visual spatial abilities, men generally outperform women on tasks involving mental rotation, spatial perception, and spatial visualization. These skills involve mentally manipulating objects in three-dimensional space, a capability often associated with success in STEM fields like engineering and architecture. Conversely, women tend to excel in verbal abilities, demonstrating greater fluency, reading comprehension, and writing skills. These strengths are often linked to enhanced communication and social intelligence, capabilities highly valued in fields like education, healthcare, and social work. Furthermore, research suggests that women might hold an advantage in emotional intelligence, encompassing the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in oneself and others. Many individuals defy these trends, highlighting the vast diversity within each gender and the limitations of making generalizations based solely on group averages. Section 6 stems gender gap, a persistent problem. Despite decades of progress in gender equality, a persistent gap remains in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, often referred to as STEM fields. Women continue to be underrepresented in these areas, particularly in higher education and leadership positions. One prominent factor is the pervasive influence of gender stereotypes. From a young age, girls are often discouraged from pursuing STEM-related interests, perceived as masculine domains. These stereotypes are reinforced in classrooms, media, and even within families, leading to lower self-efficacy and confidence in girls regarding their STEM capabilities. Furthermore, implicit bias, often unconscious, can influence educators' and employers' perceptions of female students and professionals in STEM. The gender equality paradox presents another intriguing piece of the puzzle. As nations achieve greater gender equality in areas like education and healthcare, the proportion of women entering STEM fields sometimes declines. Section 7. General intelligence, more similar than not. The concept of general intelligence, often referred to as G, attempts to quantify an individual's overall cognitive ability across various domains. Most research suggests that there is no significant difference in general intelligence between genders. Studies consistently find that men and women score similarly on standardized intelligence tests, indicating comparable overall cognitive abilities. While some argue that men might exhibit greater variability in intelligence scores, this hypothesis remains controversial and lacks conclusive evidence. The notion that men are inherently more intelligent than women is a harmful stereotype rooted in historical biases rather than scientific evidence. Instead of focusing on proving or disproving inherent intellectual superiority, efforts should be directed towards understanding the unique cognitive profiles of individuals, regardless of gender. Section 8. Beyond biology, societal factors and stereotypes. While biological differences in brain structure and function might contribute to some cognitive variations between genders, it's crucial to acknowledge the profound influence of societal factors and stereotypes in shaping these differences. From birth, children are inundated with messages about what it means to be a boy or a girl, and these expectations profoundly impact their cognitive development. Gender stereotypes permeate our language, media, toys, and even our educational systems. Girls are often praised for their neatness and obedience, while boys are encouraged for their assertiveness and risk-taking behavior. These subtle yet pervasive messages shape children's self-perceptions and influence their interests, aspirations, and ultimately, their cognitive performance. Studies have shown that even the mere suggestion of a stereotype can impact performance. This phenomenon, known as stereotype threat, highlights the powerful influence of societal expectations on cognitive performance. Addressing these deeply ingrained societal biases requires a concerted effort to challenge gender stereotypes at all levels. Section 9. Shaping a Fairer Future. Knowledge into action. The goal is not to crown one gender as intellectually superior, but to develop a nuanced understanding of the diverse ways in which our brains operate. This knowledge is not merely academic, it has real-world implications for how we educate children, design workplaces, and foster a more equitable society. By understanding the interplay of biology, environment, and societal forces in shaping cognitive abilities, we can create environments that nurture the unique potential of each individual, regardless of gender. This means challenging gender stereotypes that limit opportunities for both boys and girls. It means providing equal access to education and resources, ensuring that everyone has the chance to reach their full potential. By embracing the fascinating complexities of the human brain and celebrating the diversity of human intelligence, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.